Greetings fellow anglers and welcome to the 2014 underwater lure and rigging videos from WincoastCustomLures.com, presented by Al Winco and Howie Bubba Crawl Thompson. Correct rigging that complements the action of your soft bait presentations is paramount to your success. Custom weighted sharp hooks that maintain central balance provide excellent hookups. A realistic profile complemented with a lifelike representation puts the odds in your favor for consistent success. Good fishing, and thanks for watching. Wiggling wacky worms. This video shows various presentations of 4 1/4 to 5 1/4 inch wacky worms with external and internal O-rings. The non-weighted weedless wonder hook gives the worm subtle action on the drop, and the new weighted reduced snag wacky hooks in weights of 1/16 and 1/8 ounce produce incredible lifelike action on the drop. Both the weedless wonder hook and the new weighted hooks give excellent protection, positive hookups, and reduced snag performance in weeds, rocks, and wood. The O-ring rigged wacky worms produce an average of 7 bass before they need to be replaced. This is the wacky worm rigging segment of our video presentation. This is an 11 32nd diameter wacky worm. This is the new 13 32nds. Doesn't seem like much, but there is a big difference in the diameters, as you can see here. These particular models have external O-rings, and these new ones have internal O-rings. First we'll deal with the 4.5 inch thin wacky worm. I'm going to rig this with the weedless wonder hook. We're going to put the hook in the light side, because that's the side that will fall down under the worm and out the other side. In open water areas, you can use an octopus hook and rig the same way. And that's the way that worm will fall. Now this is the new wacky worm with the external O-ring. We can use the new wacky reduced snag weighted hook. This happens to be a 1/8 ounce. I'm going to put this in on one side of the O-ring, through the other, out the other side. You can adjust that to sync with the colors you want. Or you have the option of doing it this way. And that's the way the worm will fall. The only problem with this is sometimes a largemouth will fold the worm over this way and put the heart back into the worm. You will not land the fish. Fight him for a while, but he'll spit it out. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the internal O-ring wacky worms. There's 2 ways to locate the O-ring. We can hold it up to a light, and you can see that O-ring inside the wacky worm. Or you go to the end of the egg sac, the clear part of the egg sac of the worm, rotate it slowly, and there's going to be 2 adjacent dots. There's one right there, another one right inside. They correspond with dead center of the O-ring. The hook right between the wacky worm dots. There it is rigged. I'm gonna hold it up to the light. We may be able to see the O-ring inside. See that hook is right through the center of that O-ring. Has better action this way. It will last longer. And we'll do the same thing with the 5 1/4 inch model. Rotate it slowly, and here we are. There's one dot, and there's another dot. Locate the dot on the end of the smooth part of the egg sac, the other one's directly across from it. Put your wacky worm hook in. You're good to go. Now here's the new Weedless Wonder 5/0 hook. Same type of hookup. There's the 2 dots into the worm, out the other side. You throw this into old Bubba Bass's face and let him swallow this. This 5/0 hook means business. Use this on a casting rod. This is best for a slow, shallow water presentation. The 16th I would recommend if you want to get down to 7-8 feet, and then deeper than that you would use the 1/8 ounce. It's helpful if you use sensitive line, such as braided line with a fluorocarbon leader, to detect the light taps associated with this finesse type of fishing. A balanced rod and reel will aid to your sensitivity. We use spinning rods for the smaller 4.5-inch worms and casting rods for the 5.25-inch worms. Pre-spawn, they are fished on inside edges of weed lines, especially cutouts moving towards outside edges. River anglers will do best in reduced current pockets and shoreline eddies. Post-spawn action for river anglers will occur on current seams associated with slower pockets and ledges with boulders. Lake anglers will do well focusing on outside edges of weed lines, deeper water ledges and drop-offs for the post-spawn period. They are presented on semi-tight line, and the angler should pay attention to his line entering the water to see sudden line movements indicating ahead. The 4 and 5-inch Shaky snake nose hook on a 1/16 weighted reduced snag Wacky hook. These baits have thin tails that produce lifelike action even when the jig head rests on the bottom. A slight twitch of the rod tip puts them into motion again. This bait will produce when normal presentations fail, especially during the post-spawn and summer phases. Cast them in submerged timber, ledges, and drop-offs with reduced snag performance. Enjoy the video.
Showstopper.